But I do believe the railroad system contradicted the liberation of slaves like a slap in the face of everyone who fought for the black. The stalwarts represented the vets who did everything they did for the North. And after the war, the stalwarts felt so entitled that they felt the need to run the government only by electing officials who either vets, family, or friends who contributed to their campaign. And thus the spoil system folded. Through the corruption, even though we pretend this spoil system doesn't exist because they are not allowed to admit it exists. You see, when the spoil system was enacted, the politicians are very open about the corruption and political favors that went on at that time. But what about today? What about stalwarts in the modern era? Are we still not accepting very large corporate donations so this way the elected will only serve the interests of the politicians that the corporations are paying off? They call this contributing to the campaign, but it is dressed in a guise of deceit. This money contribution is not what it seems either. It is yet another pre-existing condition that is designed to gatekeep the money from the public interests. It is basically an economic spark that is designed as a beacon to light the torches for the spoil system. Why can't people see how motivated the stock market is? It would seem to me that these donations are what the elite use to predict the market, so that way the corrupted can become rich again, more likely a good reason to decide to default, because now we have a clause that says they can afford to default, and in the time they start it all over again, creating this kind of prejudice turnover, discriminating against the gap itself. They continue to ignore the conditions, calling themselves conservative. I suppose a lot has changed for these hypocrites to have to make adjustments. They are totally playing these little people, and what will happen next will mutate over time. But I believe they already know how to manifest corruption. This is exactly what the spoil system is. It's designed only for the entitled friends and family of the old guard, but instead of the old guard, the entitled will be represented by a new denominator, and I can't quite tell who it is yet, but who knows if they will have the option to become stalwarts, and they accept the spoil system, or will the government die, and while it is washed away, we can keep the same cloak and dagger, stalwarts, half-breeds, and whatever is left of the old guard. In the past, the old guard was litigated by affliction and strife. They were standing for a cause that they believed in with valor. They were willing to be martyrs for America.
As a half-breed myself in this generation, I know how difficult the system can be when you want something better. And I can tell you that there is error, yet there is room for improvement. And if we do not become litigated as a new generation, it is because some part of our souls understand that it isn't even worth it. It isn't even a good place to fight for what you believe in, to get from point A to point B, and to figure it all out.
Yet, it is not all in vain. They have a little majesty left in this kingdom, and a little assurance is all the people need when the church decides to defend the road and protect the people. When the system isn't working, assurance is exactly what we're going to need. The word assurance is a powerful word alone, and it's something that your children will depend on when they pray.